river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Hi boys and girls, welcome back to Rescue Pershing Kids. Today we are looking at David and Goliath. Nature testifies of God.
Hi boys and girls, today we are looking at the manchineel tree. Yes, now the manchineel tree is a species of plant native to the Caribbean, Florida, and even Central America, and is usually found along coastline and mangroves area. Now this tree we are looking at, it is along this coastline. Yes. Now this tree that resembles an apple is one of the deadliest tree in the world. Now take that into consideration, boys and girls. It is one of the most deadliest tree in the world. Now all parts of this tree contain strong toxins. Its milky white scape contains skin irritants, producing strong allergic dermatitis. So boys and girls, do not touch this tree.
You see bees on this?
Standing beneath the tree during rain will cause blistering on the skin from mere contact with this liquid. Even a small drop of rain with the milky substance in it will cause your skin to blister. So boys and girls, the scape has also been known to damage the paint on car. So it is even dangerous for your car. Now burning the tree may cause eye injury. Now the fruit, if you eat this fruit, it will be fatal to you. So these trees, you can find it here in Tobago.
So boys and girls, be very careful.
Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Jesus loved me, this I know, for the Bible tell me so. Little ones in me long, they are weak, but he is strong.
Yes, Jesus loved me.
Yes, Jesus loved me. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Yeah, and the bow before him, and then meet the God. What a mighty God we serve.
What a mighty God again.
What a mighty God we serve. Oh, what a mighty God we serve. The enter bow before him, and then we go him. What a mighty God we serve. And I say,
Craft time with Auntie D.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to Craft Time. I know it has been a while since we had craft, but we're back again. And for our first craft 2022, we will be making a donkey. Yes. And this is what we need, boys and girls. We need a pencil, sheets of paper, glue, scissors. You also need googly eyes, or if you don't have it, boys and girls, that's okay. You can draw it. Now, I drew out the body parts, boys and girls. So what you can do at this time, you can pause the video, take a look at them, ask for help if you have to, draw them, cut them out, and let's begin our craft. Okay, so we're going to start now. I'm guessing you guys have already cut out all your body parts, okay? So you're going to take your glue because we're going to start with the face of the donkey first, right? So look at each body part that I'm taking up and you can follow. Remember, it is okay. You can pause the video if you want, if you're not sure. And I'm going to make sure to put enough glue because this will be the tongue of the donkey. So we're starting off first with the face of the donkey, okay? All right. I know you guys saw this body part as well, and that is going to stick right there on the face of the donkey. Okay, so I'm going to stick it down. Now you're not going all the way to the bottom, you're leaving a little space. All right, and make sure you put enough glue. All right, great. And I have a little piece here that is sticking out, so I'm just going to cut it so that it will look even. Just another piece, I think. All right, good. So I'm just going to cut out this piece here. All right, and so now the other body part we are going to stick, boys and girls, will be the ears of the donkey. Yep, the ears. So I'm going to take this is the black part, and then I have my white. That will be the inner part, so it will be sticking onto the black, right? So it's about 4 of them. 2 big pieces for the ears and 2 smaller pieces for the inner part of the ears. And I'm going to stick it here. So I hope you guys are looking. I'm going to stick it in the middle. Make sure that you put enough glue so that it's stick, and I'm going to do the same for the other parts, okay? Right, so we have our ears, and let me show you where it will be going, because we're going to stick those ears now. Beautiful, great. All right, so next body part we're going to stick is the eyes. Now remember, if you don't have googly eyes, you can draw it, okay? So we're going to stick it now. All right, so we're there with the face of the donkey. It's finished right now. But what I have to do, you can use your pencil at this time, or I will use my black marker, and you're just going to draw the nose part of the donkey. Right, it's supposed to be looking like this. So we're almost finished. Not quite. Now we are going to stick the head on the body of the donkey, and that's the bigger piece that we have there, and I will show you where the head will be going. So you're just gonna look closely. So you're gonna take up the bigger part, and the peak there, you're just gonna put a little bit of glue there. When I say a little bit,
not all the way on the body part, but that little piece here, and you're just going to stick the head on that piece where you put the glue. Great. So now what we're going to do, you guys know what this is? It's called a saddle, yes. And they put it on donkeys, they put it on horses as well. You know, when people go on it, or if they have to put stuff on a donkey, it wouldn't be as heavy, or you will feel comfortable. Okay, so let me just make this a little even. And it's a saddle, and like I said, you will feel comfortable if they put a saddle on a horse and you go up and it makes you feel comfortable. I think it's sort of leather, it's made out of leather, some of them. And now we are going to put the tail on the donkey. So we're moving along, boys and girls, and I'm going to take my glue and stick the tail of the donkey. And each animals are so unique, boys and girls, and they are all created by our Heavenly Father. That's amazing. Each animal is so unique, they're so different, and they are so wonderful. So I just need to put a little more glue. That's what happens when you don't put too much glue. So I'm going to put a little more glue, and hopefully it will stay this time. Yeah. Alright, so the last thing we're going to put on is the feet of the donkey. And guys, when we're through with the feet, we're finished with the donkey. So let's get sticking, boys and girls. Right, and there you have it, boys and girls, our donkey. Yes, our donkey. And I hope you guys have had a wonderful time at craft today. God bless you all. Bye.
Breakfast by yourself. This is how we make the milk.
All I did was to put some water in a blender, take some almond nuts, put it in my blender. Don't forget to cover it. And then I give it a spin. So it is mixing. You allow it to mix until the water is white and milky. So allow it to continue to mix. And this is your almond milk. What we do, we usually strain it. My husband loves eating all that almond fiber, but I like it a little smoother. And this is your almond milk. Ain't that good? You can choose to sweeten it if you want, or you can leave it just like that.
So you add your big cup in the bowl. Then you add it. one around the car. Again. In my own hand. I don't know.
What type of seed is that?
Pumpkin. Sunflower seeds. I'll pop it. I'll do this. You could add some cranberry if you like cranberry. I love cranberry. I'll accept food. Okay, you can have some just now. When I walk it, I love it. Time to change.
Story time. We are reading from the Bible. 1 Samuel chapter 17. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shoko, which belongeth to Judah, and pitched between Shoko and Azeki, in Ephesdamim. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Eli, and set the battle in Amri against the Philistine. And the Philistine stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. And there went out a companion out of the camp of the Philistine, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he had an helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. Wow. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in Amri? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants of Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me, and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him, and kill him, then shall he be our servants, and serve us. And the Philistines said, I defy the army of Israel. This day give me a man, that we may fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now David was the son of the Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons. And the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. And the Philistines drew near morning and evening, and presented themselves 40 days. And Jesse said unto David his son, Take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren, and carry them 10 cheeses unto the captain of their 1,000, and look how thy brethren fare, and take thy pledge. Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. And David rose up early in the morning, and left the sheep with a keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight, and shout for the battle. For Israel and the Philistine had put the battle in array, army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran unto the army, and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the companion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistine, and spoke according to the same words. And David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, Have ye seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killed him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. Boys and girls, stay tuned next week for part 2 of this study. Are you ready for questions? Question number 1. Can you name the 3 brothers of David that went to fight in the army? Think hard, boys and girls.
Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah.
Very good, boys and girls. Question number 2. Who did David left his sheep with? Can't you remember?
A keeper.
That's right. He left his sheep with a keeper. What was the name of the giant that came to fight the Israelites in the story? Think hard, boys and girls.
I know. His name was Goliath.
That's right, boys and girls. Join us next time for part 2. Goodbye.
Peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.